All right. We are live, everybody. Go ahead, Eileen.
Welcome. Welcome, everyone, to Casual Conversation with GNA. We may be in separate rooms, but we're still part of the same podcast.
So, do you want to tell people why we're in separate rooms?
um, well, we're in separate rooms for, you know, pretty much what's been going on
Because
around
you're
the world.
scared?
Huh?
Because you're scared to get the cooties?
Yeah. You know how it is right now, pretty critical moments. Everyone
Uh,
just wants to be safe. So that's kind
yeah.
of what's going on right now.
So, basically, I was sick. Ooh, this is cool. It's like a
Oh,
little
okay, there you
close
go.
up. Hi, Chase. Hi, Volt. If you guys want to join, you're more than welcome to join. I'm going to see if I can add like the invite. So basically, I was sick with everybody knows what, and I don't know. It was an interesting experience, definitely. Yeah, I was just feeling like I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about it so you guys know what my symptoms were. But oh cool. So basically, I started with a sore throat and I was like, "Nah, it's nothing. It's just allergies." And then I got you know what? I went to sleep. I woke up and I was dizzy and I was like, "Damn, I have food poisoning." Cuz that's what always happens to me. I get dizzy. After that, it wasn't going away all day. I didn't feel weird like from my stomach, so I was like, "Huh, I don't know what this is. It's kind of weird." So, the day after that, it turned into a headache, massive headache. Then that evening, the fever came. Hopefully, Vault can come in. Um, and then, and then it was just like low grade fever, headache. What else did I have, Eileen? Congestion.
Yeah.
And then, just a lot of like phlegm. It was crazy. And so for a while, I felt like I couldn't talk. Like I felt like my voice was in and out, so I couldn't really do a podcast. But today I feel okay. I still have a little bit of stuff going on, but I'm good. But yeah, that was my journey. Eileen, I don't know if you want to talk about did you have any
Yeah,
illness?
for, seasonal allergies, but I did have a little scare,
Yeah.
and um, but it was nothing at the end of the day. I went
Yeah.
and got it, and it wasn't it, so that was good. Um, but yeah, I feel like that's kind of what's going on right now. Just luckily we were able to enjoy our holidays.
Yeah, so it happened right after Christmas. So, um yeah, and I think it's been what, already like more than 2 weeks? So
Yeah.
I'm able to like enjoy my life. But I do want to say not being able to socialize and do anything for 2 weeks was pretty intense. Um the good thing was that I have my kids so they kind of kept me sane, they kept me busy, but yeah, but other than that, oh cool. Thank you, Vault. I hope that you can come join. I'm gonna see. I think if I click on it, you can see
Oh,
comments.
can
Isn't
see
that
the
cool? So we're
yeah.
still trying. Before we came in here, we were trying to play with StreamYard to see what we can do. I know that you can share your screen. I just still don't know exactly how to do it, but we'll try. So, anywho, yeah. Um. So yeah, Eileen. So you're basically she's trying to kind of still stay away from me for a little bit, and
Yeah.
then we can come back and she can join me.
Yep. I mean, I miss being there for sure. It's not the same.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard. But I think that now that it's happened, I'm like, okay, I'm not too scared anymore. I'm like, okay, I got it. I handled it, and that's that. Now I can not be afraid. So,
Yeah, that's good.
so yeah. Anywho, so today we were kind of just trying to do like a chill day. We didn't really have anything planned out. We kind of needed, I kind of told her, hey, let's show up because it's been a while and we don't want people to think we're not doing it anymore, but we are. So, um, yeah, so we're basically just going to talk about things that we've done in the past and just basic questions, basic little chat. And if anybody wants to join, you're more than welcome. Yeah. So what do you want? What do you want to start with, Eileen?
Um, should we get into the podcast? Um, I mean, for obvious reasons, why we started was because, we just like to chat, and that was one of the big reasons why we just kind of wanted to have fun with it, right? That was a big one.
Yeah, like kind of, try it and talk to people and interact, kind of like socializing online, right?
Yeah, and it's been great. We over the past year we've have came up with a lot of topics, and I feel like we've learned a lot about just different things.
Oh,
And then
cool. Hold
so
on. Vault is gonna join.
oh,
Ooh,
okay.
that's exciting. Hold on.
What's up, ladies?
Hi.
Hi. Oh, let me try to. There you go. How are you tonight?
I am fine. I was actually fixing to do a stream and I seen y'all come on. I was like, well, I'm gonna put mine on hold for just a little while. I want to come in here with y'all.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, "Oh, man, he's gonna have one." But hopefully, yeah, we can do a little quick chat here, and then we can move over to
Well,
yours.
hey, I'm here as long as you want to be here, and then we can move from here and go over to the Nightmare Nation's house.
Cool. Oh, you know what? Redwolf is wanting to join, so I'm gonna add him as well if that's okay.
I don't care. It's your house. Hey, cool, dude. That's one of my brothers right there.
Alright. Hello.
Are you,
Hi.
Hi.
Hey,
are you
what's
chasing me,
up?
Leprechaun?
Yeah, man. I see how you roll, man. I like that. You just on your own time. I see.
Look, I've been putting up camp. Y'all just wait till y'all see what I got planned for y'all over at the show.
I
Yeah,
saw that. DW posted something online, so I was like, "Whoa, more action."
Yep, and then I've been out. Me and my cousin and Lakea have been out bothering the local government. So
dude. That
Nice.
that did y'all ladies? Did y'all see that show he put up where he went running around Lake Sardis and Grenada Lake and stuff?
Yes, we were watching that. I know that, it was closed, right? So you couldn't go through?
they said it was closed, but we went anyway.
Did you
Yeah.
see that net? Did y'all see that nest?
No, we didn't see the nest. I was watching the beginning and then, I don't know if it ended or if he did you continue to do it, Volt, after
Uh,
that?
when I went into, I don't know if you seen where I went into the building or not. I actually went
Yeah.
in. All right, when I went into the building, yeah, I went around, yeah, and started filming some of the stuff. That guy was apparently new. He didn't get the memo of he ain't supposed to be letting people film, but
Oh.
wouldn't have stopped me anyway. But yeah, they had a nest in there, and that nest was probably 6 foot in diameter,
Wow.
and they just cut it down just like it was. You can see where they cut the vine, where they had to cut the vines to get it out, and they basically brought the whole thing in, and they were passing it off as a bird nest. And like I told my cousin, if that's a bird nest, I don't want to see that bird.
Yeah.
Man,
That's insane.
that was a bird nest. That was a pterodactyl or something, man.
Yeah,
Golly.
that
You
that
think?
was
Have you ever seen that before,
I
Bart?
I've never seen one like that, but it's got my curiosity up. Did y'all hear the story that he told me whenever I got him to start talking about the weird sightings? He first told me about a nutria. I kind of broke the ice about that, which is odd in itself. Nutria shouldn't be in Mississippi nowhere. It's just too cold for them.
Mhm.
But then I said, well, okay, well, what other big, large, and hairy have you seen or know about? Well, he starts talking about bear. People have been reporting bear in the area. The thing is, though, if y'all didn't catch it, he starts talking about they're saying they're walking upright, and then
Hmm.
supposedly the Mississippi government spent a lot of time and effort a couple of years ago tracking a bear and two cubs across the state of Mississippi. That doesn't happen. That
Yeah.
okay? Why a bear? Why spend that much time and effort on tracking a bear and two cubs? Yes, it's odd, but to come across Mississippi, but to keep that much detail and that much record, I don't think they were tracking a bear and two cubs. I don't know
Oh.
what they were tracking, but I just don't believe it was a bear because you're talking about a lot of man hours. What he's
Did
talking about. Go ahead, Chase.
I was gonna say, did he said something about they were calling it a honey bear or something?
Yeah, a
Or did
honey bear.
that guy?
Mm-mm.
Uh,
I don't buy it.
I don't buy it. Because there's no. You go look up the DNR for the state of Mississippi. There are no bears here. The last bear sighting, I think, was back in 1931, and there's no bears here. You can look that up on the Mississippi DNR, uh, and see where we were today is ran by the Corps of Engineer, and it's a state park. And y'all can see on the video, they have every road shut off down through there. Every road that you can pull off to go anywhere, they have shut off. They have a massive lock across them. Well, I
Huh.
asked him why. This is the excuse he gave. He gave this on air too. He said, well, somebody got hurt by some old wood or something, from a bench or something. So they shut everything down. Okay, let's use that. Let's say somebody did get hurt from somehow a bench or something. They sit on it and a piece of wood hurt them or whatever. Why shut everything down?
Right.
That makes no sense. That explanation makes absolutely no sense because this thing is like 70,000 acres. So I did a video that I'm going to release tomorrow where we went on the only trail that we could go on. The only reason why we could go on that trail is because they had been doing work on it and couldn't shut it down. They come out there and asked what we were doing, and I played stupid with them. I was like, "Well, we were just nature walking." I didn't tell them what we were doing, but they're cutting every large tree. All right, there's an old river that ties in the video. I showed that. All right, you've got Grenada Lake, which is the largest man-made lake in the state of Mississippi. Then
Mhm.
right above that, just a few miles away, you've got what's called Enid Lake. Enid Lake is one of the largest uh, naturally formed lakes. Right above that in a line is Lake Sardis. Lake Sardis is the second largest man-made lake. That is actually the home grounds of the Chickasaw and the Choctaw. They flooded and took that land. When they took the land to keep them from coming back, they flooded it.
Oh, okay.
And there's one river
Oh.
system called the old canal that joins all three of those. It links them and then goes into the Yazoo. Well, I've said for years that Squatches, especially, I think Dogman too, follow those riverways. It's like our roads; they don't never change. They're there.
Hmm.
A bend may come out or a bend may come in, but they're always the same. Well, along that waterway, they're cutting every large tree big enough for, let's say, me, Chase, or one of y'all to climb. They're cutting them down. You can
Hmm.
see, and they're spending a lot of effort and a lot of time and money. They have a foiler running up and down this trail, and they're dragging a rake behind it. That's raking all the animal sign out of the way. Well, me and my cousin, being so country boys we are, we stepped right off the edge of the trail. And right off the edge of the trail, we found 16-inch footprints that are about 8 inches across. What they're doing
Wow.
is they're wiping out any sign of anything traveling that area. There's not, when I say there's no animal sign, unless you step right off the trail and go about 5 feet or so and start looking, there's not a sign of deer. There's not a sign of squirrels, raccoons, possums. Now, this is a natural waterway. Chase can tell you, ask anybody that hunts, waterways are going to be full of animal sign. There's none.
Wow.
They have cleaned out, they have scrubbed away any animal sign all through that area for about 4 miles.
That kind of reminds me of I know I don't know if I'm pretty sure you have heard of the Missing 411 with Dave Paulides.
Yes, ma'am.
And you know how every time he would say that, every time somebody would go missing, the either, the Green Berets would come in or military presence would show up for no reason. And it's like, I mean, like to him, it's kind of, weird, right? Why are they coming in? Why are they blocking it off for people? So kind of like it seems to me like they definitely know there's something there and they're trying to cover it up, or maybe, like they don't want the public to know about it, which most people, like, well, I feel like we're kind of familiar with what's going on, but the general public, I think they would be scared and be like, no, I'm not going back there anymore.
When Paul, when do you think that the walking wolves traverse that area? What time of year it is? You think?
I think it's springtime. I think they come through during spring. Is when usually that's usually because see that area right there that we were at today is only about 35 miles away from Taylor, Mississippi. And by what I know about Taylor, springtime, middle on up until fall, that area all through there is really hot and heavy. I don't know if it's because they come down from if they're migrating down for some reason through a migratory pattern. I know some of these animals migrate. I haven't figured out their direct path yet and why they do it, but I know that some of them migrate, some of them don't. I don't know if it's the older ones or the ones that have just had young, and it'd be more dangerous and more of a burden for them to migrate. I think some of those are the ones that make these troops and tribes that, like in area, like I've got behind my house. Uh, I think those stay in the area. They figure out an area, find an area that they're not as in much danger. Like here, the only person they had to fear really is me, and I'm not trying to kill one of these things. I'm just trying to get some great photos. I will go out of my way to make sure one of these things don't get hurt. To where I'm talking about, Chase can tell you there's a lot of evidence I could release. I don't because I think it would be detrimental to this animal. And there's no reason just to go out
Yeah.
to kill it just to say to kill
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah,
it's
I get.
just go
I'll
ahead.
give you like I'll give you a lot of props for that too. That shows a big respect for these creatures, and I think that I do believe, like you say, sometimes you talk when you're out there and you're in a situation, you'll talk to them or whatever. I think that they pick up on that, that type of behavior or energy out of you, or maybe your body language, and that's probably why you're able to give the evidence you do, whatnot. You know what I
Well,
mean?
probably, like I said, I don't know if they can understand me. I believe that they've been around humans enough. They might not can. It's like me. The two girls can start speaking Spanish to each other. I will catch about every other word or maybe one or two sentences. I'll get the gist of what they're talking about, but I don't understand everything they're talking about because I've been around Spanish speaking people for more than 10 years, probably. And now I can't speak it to save my freaking life, but I can understand it well enough to know to understand if somebody's talking about me or what they're trying to get across to me. I think these animals have been around humans and heard humans speaking and interacting with each other. I think it's kind of the same way. I'm not
Yeah.
saying they can understand everything we're saying, but they get the gist of it. Because like I said, I've been in some stupid, stupid situations I've got myself into. here recently another one. And like I said, sometimes just speaking out loud, acting like, you don't have, even though I carry weapons on me, that doesn't mean I'm going to use it. I sometimes just playing stupid, acting like you don't even see them is the best course of action.
Hmm.
Uh, like your kids, if you're playing hide and seek with your little kids and one of them's hiding in a very obvious area and you go over and find them, they'll get upset. Same way, but you're talking about something that weighs probably 1,000 pounds that can pull you apart like a paper doll. So it's
Wow.
probably not a good idea to make them that mad.
That reminds me, Bolt, the story, because my dad, he's a hunter. He went hunting one time, up here in, what is it called, Eileen? The Sierras, by the Sierras.
Mm-hmm.
And,
The Sequoia Forest, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And he was hunting alone, and he said that he saw something coming down the trail. It looked like a big, he's like, I thought it was a cow. So he said he hid behind a big boulder, right? And he said that he waited for it to get closer, and then as soon as it was a few steps away from me, I kind of like jumped out and screamed. And so he said that it was a bear. And it got in, like, it just stood up in his legs, and it was gonna like attack him. So he's like, oh, I felt so bad, because he's like, I knew that if I didn't do anything, he was gonna get me. So he had a permit for it, but he ended up like shooting it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's so sad. And I told him, you know what, you're not allowed to go hunting anymore, you're being irresponsible. And so but yeah, and it was crazy to me. I'm like, he would have killed you.
Hey, Barry. Hey, everybody. Y'all go share this and get some more people in here. And y'all hit those likes before you share.
Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're part of the family too, y'all. I told
Oh,
you,
thank
that
you.
we need more females in the industry. Lakea's been saying it forever because females have a different way and a different outlook sometimes of looking at things. Because guys, their egos, their macho, whatever, sometimes get in the way. I'm guilty of it, just like you can ask Chase. It's just a guy thing. Girls don't actually do that. Y'all sometimes y'all can come up with a different perspective than what me and a bunch of guys will come up with. That's why, like I said, I was trying to get y'all on the panel and stuff last night because, like, looking at some of these videos, we're not trying to
Oh, yeah.
spoof them or whatever. We're just looking and seeing what we can make sense out of. Some of them don't make any sense. Some of them we've come across that I know to be the real deal. But it's just a different outlook. And that's the thing that, opinions. You get more people together and look at something, you're probably likely to get a better understanding of what you're looking at than just getting one or two. And, you know, I've always said women are less likely to jump to crazy ass conclusion than guys will. Well, y'all
Lord, ain't
will.
that's the truth of Lakea. Good Lord. Hey, listen, y'all have to come to next time we do one of those episodes where we're looking at y'all. Got to get on there. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I know. I know the first one you guys did, the one with the window.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's so real. Oh my God. And then
Yeah.
Bolt started pointing out the little things, and I was like, oh yeah, I see that. But yeah, it was definitely creepy, the one with
I
the
have a weird way of looking at things. That's because I spent a lot of my life looking through a spotting scope or a scope, and I
Mhm.
look at things that don't belong. Pictures are hard for me to see stuff in because it's not moving. I look for movement or shapes or the way it's interacting with the environment that most people don't even pay attention to or realize to look for. That's some of
Yeah.
the stuff that I'm showing and teaching.
Yeah, you dang sure do. You'll be looking at we'll all be looking at the same picture. All of a sudden, Balt be like, "You see it? Look at that. You see how his toe is pointed that way? He's planning on making a left-hand turn. Be ready, okay?"
Well, you don't realize this, but you need to go back and look at the video that we did last night where you was playing around out there in the woods.
Yeah,
I told you I saw a black object move back
dude.
up in there.
Yeah, I'm glad I
Well,
walked away from there.
about six other people saying the same thing I did at the same time I did. I don't know
Really?
what it was. It could have been a raccoon, a squirrel, or something jumping and moving. I just caught movement. That's why I tell you, ho ho, back up.
Well,
I don't know
that
what
was
it
right.
was.
I don't either. I mean, that was right around the time, like I told you, I heard something. If that sounded like maybe, like it was definitely a leaf patter. But it only was for a split second, and it was like I heard that, and then y'all said y'all saw like shadows. Man,
Mm-mm.
I'm glad that stuff was too thick. I'd be done walk my stupid self up in there.
So is this just like a forest at your home, or is this like out just random while you're
Ran,
driving?
Yeah, so two times I've done it, and I usually whenever I'm driving, I know we're gonna do a show. I'll look like even an off ramp or something where it's like thick woods, and I'll go and explore. One day I did it outside of a rest area that was real thick. Both times we've seen signs that when I went out in the woods. It's really fun because I'll go out there and get the crap scared out of myself, and then Bald will be pointing out he'll be pointing out all the stuff like see how that limb's broken over or whatever. And then it's fun because then I start picking up on it. And I'm like, what's that? And he'll be like, well, that's a death box. I dare you to go in there.
Mm-mm.
So,
Wow.
yeah,
Man,
they
I'm
get me
scared
in
to
a
go
lot of
on my
trouble.
yeah, I get scared to go on my backyard. Like there's
Yeah,
no way I would do that. That's insane.
yeah, man,
but
it's fun.
but it's
I
cool,
got
yeah.
I got good friends. They like to try to get me to howl and whoop and all this stuff. So
Mm-mm.
one day, I'm telling you, what's gonna happen is one day something's gonna yell back, and next thing you know, you're gonna see that phone bouncing around all over the place.
Do you remember that picture that somebody showed on Balt's channel? I don't remember the guy's name where he got hit in the back.
That's Crow.
Yeah,
Yeah, like that's gonna be your picture next
yeah.
Now, what is your
Ugh.
sister's name?
Eileen?
Miss Eileen. How you doing? I hadn't heard nothing out of you. Are you still scared of the government cooties?
Yeah.
Hey, because of you, that's what I started naming it, the government cooties. They
She
can't
was
get me
like,
for saying that on there. So
"No." She was
That's
like, "No,
funny.
I'm not coming over."
I'm gonna steal that one. Definitely
Yeah.
gonna start using that one. That's hilarious.
Vault, so can you talk to us a little bit about the dog man for people that don't know what it might be?
well, that's the thing. I used to think it was a canine. I'm still not 100% sure of what it is, but information I got a while back, I think it's actually some kind of baboon species that has been at one time or another. I think it was the there's like three or four different kinds of these things. One, now the first one me and Lakea saw that everybody was calling a dog man. I don't think it is a dog man. I think it is some kind of ancient dire wolf thing because that's what it looked like. A giant, it looked like a wolf the size of a freaking cow. Now, the second one that I saw when I was looking for what me and Lakea first saw, it doesn't look like that. It looks like a Bigfoot that somebody stuck Anubis's head on. Come to find out, that one right there is the one that I was told that was genetically messed with. That's supposed to have, it started out with baboon DNA, squatch DNA, and a little bit of human DNA in there I guess, to shake everything, combining up. I didn't realize until I got to looking at this. I never had researched baboons, didn't know nothing about baboons. There's 47 different species of baboons. One species, and I cannot remember the technical name for it, but it can get almost 5 feet tall, all by its lonesome. Well, what if there's another? Like I said, that's just the species we know of. And these things, baboons, have been known. There's a species that lives in the Himalayas.
Mm.
That's one of the largest ones. They have learned to survive extreme cold weathers. They can survive in extreme harsh deserts. These things will attack lions.
Wow.
If you go watch and start studying baboons and then you start thinking about what everybody says about these dog men, everything kind of starts lining up to the point where I was like, look, I don't know if I'm just falling down the research hole or what, but everything kind of lines up with what I've been told. And then you take a picture of a baboon and you take turn it black and white. It's the best way I can tell you to do it. Just turn it. I don't care if it's a color photo, whatever. Just turn it black and white, and then go find you a couple of pictures of drawings that have been done by eyewitness sightings. If I didn't tell you that they wasn't drawing a baboon, that they were drawing a dog man, you would think they'd seen a baboon. That's what they were drawing, because the drawings line up with a baboon. The reverse legs. Most species of baboons don't have a tail. There are some that do have a tail. Their canines, the way their mouths are shaped, the sounds they make, all comes back to lining up with these dog man. Like I said, if y'all hear some noise, it's my oldest son letting his dogs out to go use the bathroom. But like I said, everything to me lines up with a lot of the baboon, because I can't find anything in the fossil records that would go back to say anything about a large upright walking canine. Not in the States now, but you go overseas, especially Germany, Russia, they have stories of werewolves. But
Mm.
the werewolves over there look like giant. They look like the typical werewolf. They have the tail, everything else. Most of the time, these people are describing dog man, they don't have a tail.
You know,
The one I had my encounter with didn't have a tail.
Hmm.
you know what's also interesting about you saying that is, all right, dogs naturally in their DNA have never climbed trees, but
Yep.
yet bamboo and these things that there's so how many stories that we heard where they're jumping from tree to tree or they ambush from the trees, and that's in the bamboo. I still can't say that word, but that's in its DNA. You know, so I think there's a lot there.
The one that me and my team, my ex team members had to encounter with, it ambushed us from out of the trees. If it would have never come out of those trees, we would have walked past it and not even known it was there. It came about 20 feet out of the trees and did what I call a Superman landing right in between all three of us. And I believe still to this day, you can't convince me otherwise, because I know military tactics. I've taught military tactics. This thing used military tactics. It would get us in between crossfires. We would maneuver to get out of a crossfire, and it would put us right back in one. That's military. That's guerrilla tactics. Then it would circle to single one of your teammates out. So now your other teammates are not focusing on it. They're focusing on trying to save the other teammate.
Yeah.
I said just stuff like that it would do. It made no other sense unless it was taught or it observed. It somehow it knew military tactics. That's the only thing that made sense. Like I said,
And what happened to that one?
a buddy of mine,
Did he
Tank.
just
No, a buddy of mine, Tank, saved my bacon because it was fixing to eat vault. Yeah.
Wow. So how big was it?
Well, rough guesstimate, it was around 7 foot plus.
Oh, so it was big.
Oh yeah,
That's a big one.
and I had already done went through 8 magazines of 5.56, and another friend of mine was working on her last magazine of an AK-47, and it was not doing nothing to it. It looked like we were spraying it with an airsoft gun.
Wow.
I was close enough I could watch. I've already done ran out of all my primary with my M14, my M4. I done run out of all ammunition for it. I was down to a 9mm. I was watching 9mm rounds hit it, flatten out, and slide off. That's how
That's
close I was.
weird.
Now Tank, luckily, he brought Big Mama out, and Tank is even more into guns than I am. He had special purpose built it was only 2 in existence when this happened. I think there's 4 now. You're talking about a gun that cost roughly about $22,000.
Wow.
Because it's a special purpose built gun. It will destroy your engine block at 1,000 yards. It was designed to stop vehicles. He hit it 3 times, and that's the only thing that saved my life.
Gee.
Wow.
Uh,
That's crazy.
you should have been there.
I know.
Well, you know what's also interesting, Law, is if you ever like look into the history of Germany and during Hitler's time, he was obsessed with like werewolves.
Super soldiers, werewolves, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And then we got all those scientists came over here, and then all of a sudden around that time period, we started getting different eyewitnesses of seeing certain things. You know
I
what I mean?
cannot
And it,
remember. I cannot remember one of the doctor's names, but he got so outrageously. He was even too much for Hitler. So that tells you something.
yeah,
Where he was
it,
actually taking pregnant women while they were in the first parts of their trimesters, introducing other primate DNA into the wound. And he got banned, he got shunned and banned by Hitler. Well, he didn't stop his research. He went off up into Switzerland and kept doing this. And supposedly there was a bunch of weird animal sightings of primates and stuff up there in that area during that time. This is back, like I said, during right before Hitler uh lost his reign, I would say. And like I said, this guy was so bad. Hitler's like, no, no, dude, we can't even have you. You know, you're past us. And he kicked him out of the country
yeah,
because of the crazy stuff he was doing. He was one of Hitler's primary scientists. Matter of fact, he was right there with Vonner von Dwan. I can't, the guy
Von
that,
Bronson,
yeah,
Von
that guy
Bronson,
that
yeah,
built the YouTube rockets that actually helped with our. He was the leading scientist behind NASA. If it wasn't for him, we'd have had no NASA program. That was one of Hitler's right hand man that we brought over here in Operation Paperclip.
Wow.
yeah. That's you think about it when you talk about the 9mm rounds and watching them hit, almost like he was hitting it with a BB gun. It's not too far fetched because the government for a long time has been working on, especially fibers, and you woven fibers a certain way. Imagine woven muscle fibers. How that's almost like body armor.
Well,
Hmm.
I've got body armor back here that it's called Dragon Scale.
Yeah,
It's about I'm gonna say about 60% lighter than regular armor, and it will actually do more. It will protect you more against high penetrating rifle rounds and stuff than uh regular armor. I heard somebody say mom.
I'm sorry, it was my kids.
Oh no, don't be sorry for kids. I like kids. I'm just not kid appropriate, but I like kids. I, I raised
Yeah.
I raised two demons myself.
I kind of wanted to talk to you, or because we have some strange thing that happened to us a while back. I don't know if Eileen, you want to kind of share with me
Yeah,
about
I
this.
hadn't heard Miss Eileen. She's being back there all scared, hiding behind her little.
Yeah, and we kind of
I
wanted
don't
to
fight.
just, yeah, we wanted to see what you thought about it because we couldn't make sense of it.
Lay
So
it on me.
go ahead, Eileen. I'm gonna let you
Okay.
share.
So, maybe like what 20 years ago, we had an experience in our old home where just, one night we heard, weird noises outside, and we came to find all our animals died, right? all
So
our
yeah,
that's
because they were,
what I'm talking about.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, all our
So
chicken.
basically, it was kind of weird because we had like bunnies and chickens, right? That was it. Yeah,
Yeah,
and they were mutilated. Like they weren't, like it was really weird because my family, they said that they heard some ruckus in the back, and
yeah,
when they looked out the window, they saw like a little tiny, they said it looked like a little creature that ran off. And so when we went back there, the cages that these animals were in were really like hard to open. I mean, we were what? How old were we? Probably like middle school, and it was hard for us to open it. Um,
They were
but
very heavy cages.
yeah,
So, there
and
there was no way anything could get in there.
Hmm.
yeah. And so
What-
basically we found the animals and they were like torn apart. There was no blood anywhere. Um, some of the animal, like some of the pieces were up in the tree. And then one of them, my mom said she found a chicken like I want to say like 5 blocks down our street. Um, but there was no blood. It was just like little pieces
All
here
right.
and there.
Let me understand. This happened in 90, either 89, 98 or 99.
I wanna say because it was around the time where they had the chupacabra scare.
Yeah. But y'all were possibly mm, North California.
It was like in city in LA, Los Angeles
Mm-hmm.
area. Yeah.
Did y'all find any strange tracks?
No, because I remember my dad went out there to kinda see, and he said that they didn't see anything.
To be honest with you, what it sounds like to me, small. Sounds like y'all had a couple of they call them gugway out there. That sounds like it. A lot of people would say chupacabra. I'm not going to say chupacabra because chupacabra don't rip them. What they do is they bite them and they leave all
Mhm.
the blood. A reason why I'm saying all that, and I'm guessing the year and I'm guessing the area you're in, is because back then there was 3 gugway reports back up in that area. There was a small one. I'm talking about like 4 foot tall, small, and a very large one about 9 foot tall that was up in that area. I got to go back and look at my records, but that was all the way from outside of LA, all up through San Bernardino, up through the Silicon Valley, all the way up into Oregon.
I was wondering how you knew some of them details, and then I get so that was the ones that you tracked down that time, right?
Yep, that's the only reason why I said the year and stuff is because the only 2 Sasquatch type creatures I've ever went after to try to kill were those 2. Up in when I got a hold of them, they were up in Oregon. They had went through Oregon, was heading into Washington State, but there was like a path that went all the way from LA all the way up north, and that was in between 1998 and 1999.
Mhm.
And like I said, it was all up north, and those things for no reason, like I'm gonna say a bunny, and I don't want to mean to free. I know your kids probably watch this, so I'm gonna try to be not as graphical as possible. Well, just in case, it
No,
looked
they don't.
it would look like a rabbit. They would take and smush it, and then just rip it apart, and just like fling parts all over the place. Uh,
Yeah.
that was what they were known to do. That's what got me involved in going up through there chasing, because there's one account right on the border of Oregon uh, that there was an elk that looked like literally it looked like something had knocked it down and just stomped it flat for no reason. These things were just killing nonchalantly. It wasn't like for food or nothing. It was like they were just come across something and they would kill it for no reason. Like
Mhm.
like you're talking about, and then hang the pieces everywhere up in the trees and stuff like that. See, that's not chupacabra. If you would have told me they were drained of blood, but there was, and the animal was still whole, I would have said chupacabra. But with it being pulled apart, hanging up in trees and stuff, that sounds like gugway, or what everybody calls a gugway. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It looks like a messed up. Think of a caveman with Down syndrome, and well, Have y'all ever seen those? Since y'all were, I did not realize y'all were as old as y'all are. I thought y'all were young, like y'all were teenagers. Uh, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean no disrespect to y'all. Y'all are old enough. Y'all remember the movie The Goonies?
Yeah.
You remember the Chubbs, the one, his little buddy, the retarded thing that he found.
Yeah.
Think of that, but about the size, but about 9 foot tall, and,
Oh, that's
and
creepy.
yeah,
Kinda
yeah.
like the Hills Have Eyes. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Yeah, kinda like
Oh,
that, but even uglier. Yeah, that's a Gugway. Like I said, I don't know what it's supposed to be. Everybody says it's a Sasquatch creature. I don't know. All I know is they will nonchalantly, and it don't make a difference. Humans, animals, whatever they come across, they kill for no reason. It's not like food. Like, could you tell that with all the animals that it killed of yours and it tore it
mhm,
apart? It didn't look
mhm.
like it was eating them, right? It just looked like it just destroyed them.
Yeah,
That's the
and,
same thing.
we thought that because my parents initially, they were like, "Oh, it's the neighbor's dogs." I was like, "Yeah, but"
How did
then
it
they
get
were like, "There,
killed?
how come there's no tracks? Like, there's no blood anywhere, there's no, like, why would they be up in the trees or in the
Or
down
like
the road?"
didn't open the gates, right?
Exactly. Because
Well,
one of the gates was like a slide gate, but it was made out of stainless steel. Because my dad, like,
He was
he's
welding.
oh yeah, he's been a welder and he would build these cages, and the other one was like the bunny cage, you had to open it up.
see, I think y'all were part of that whole y'all were unknowingly a part of that whole Gugway scene back there. And then, like I said, from L.A.
Mhm.
There's reports of these things killing a homeless guy in LA, and I cannot remember what they call it. It's been famous a couple times in some movies lately. It's they call it the river, but it's actually it's a concrete, like a
like a
swath of sewer.
Terminator.
Well, yeah, you know that scene in LA. I can't remember what
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
called, but
The
there was a homeless guy killed, and the way he was killed, at first they were saying it was ritualistic. The thing is, though, he was just ripped apart. It looked like he had got inside of a piece of agricultural machine and just I'm talking about they never did find his head. I remember that part. But he was tore apart and just scattered up and down uh through a tunnel system that led out. Somebody found part of one of his feet out in that river system. And I cannot remember the name of that damn. They call it a river. To me, it's just,
it's like the canal, like
yes, the canal.
yeah.
I'm talking about it, but it's got a name and I can't remember the name.
Mhm. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Well, that's where I picked up the first sign at right there back then. That was like I said, it was either in 98 or 99. I think it was 98 because it was right
Yeah.
before me and Lakea got married. Uh, Matter of fact, we got married, and a couple of months later, I went back out and wound up in Oregon. That's the Oregon Washington border is where last time I saw one of these things, and I put a round in it, and it still
So
didn't kill it.
you got the big one. Did you ever track down the little one?
Nope, never found any sign of it. I kept hearing about it, but I never did find any sign of the little one. But like I said, I don't know if that was its offspring or what the hell it was. But like I said, it was one about 4 foot tall, and then
Mhm.
another one twice as tall as it was, if not taller. But usually the big one was the one that was doing all the mayhem and everything. The little one was just like there. I said, but they said it looked like they said it looked like a juvenile, like I said it was about 4 foot tall, so it was like the size of like a 12-year-old, 13-year-old. They said that it looked like a Down syndrome little kid covered in hair, the little one.
Yeah, like he
And
was
it
deformed.
made funny noises like uh like like whiny screechy noises. The big
Wow.
one the big one would just scream, yell, and everything else. Usually when people had encounters with it, it wasn't fun. most of the people that had interactions with them, they didn't survive. Like I said, these things just killed randomly for no reason. Like I said, like you're talking about, it could be 40 rabbits out there, and they would just go through and kill every one of them just for no reason, just shred them.
Wow.
That's weird though. That chaos. That's weird though that happened during that. But that's the only reason why I could tell you the area I was in and about the date and the time, because like I said, when you started saying that and the way the animals were put up in the tree and
Mhm.
everything, that matched. I probably got 40 stories from back then, all up and down. Like I said, it was like a line. They went straight from LA straight up into straight into Washington State, or right on the Washington State border. And right there was the last time. That's when I shot one of them twice, and never found the body. I found where it apparently stayed at for a while because there was a bunch of blood, but never did find a body. Now the little one might have drugged the big one off. I don't know, but
Hmm.
all the accounts and all the killing and everything stopped. So I don't know if it died. I don't know if something drug it off. I don't know, but
Well,
don't feel bad. And
I hope so.
yeah, it was a real thing that
It
happened to
sounds
y'all.
kind of, yeah, and for a long time we were kind of thinking aliens, you know? Maybe they came down and
Go
or
research, go research Gugway from LA to Washington, because there's a bunch of stuff on it. Back then I wasn't putting stuff out. The BRFO, I think I don't like that site, and I don't too much care for them people. The reason why is they hand pick stories to put on their site. Like they may have 600 encounters on their site. Well,
Mhm.
if you listen to people that have said they've turned in sightings and evidence there, there's probably 20,000 that they didn't put up, or they don't even mention. They only take the most dramatic or whatever and put them up.
Yeah.
But you can, if you start searching that somewhere on the net, you'll find that. I'll see if I can't find my records, and then what I'll do is I'll just photo them and send them to you, because I've
Okay.
got to go find them. I've got stuff going all the way back from 1987 of
Wow.
sightings, reports. I got files on top of files. These are just ones that's right here, recent.
You're all organized.
I,
Everything's color coded.
Yeah, don't be
I'm still
fooled.
old school. I don't actually put a whole bunch of stuff in my computer. I
Yeah,
keep paper,
I
because
do too. I love paper.
well,
Yeah.
well, the thing is, you got to come into my house to get this. You can't sneak in through the internet, and I
I
Yeah.
can
don't
tell you,
suggest nobody do that.
I can tell you, he looks all organized, but you got to see how that hot mess behind him there with all the guns and gear thrown around.
Look, I cleaned that.
Uh-huh.
Look, I gave me and Chase did some swapping and trading, and Chase kind of felt bad because he was swapping me out some stuff, and I was giving him some stuff. And he's like, "Well, just wait till it." And like, hey, I told him real quick, like, "No, you're taking it, whether you want it or not."
Wow. Just take
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
That's
I
Uh,
made
funny.
off like a bandit. I'm still gonna get some more stuff. Lakay is gonna get on him, and I'm gonna get the hookup. I
uh,
got body armor. I got all kinds of stuff.
yeah, I gave
That's
him body
cool.
armor. I
Well,
gave his wife gave his wife a vest,
hmm
holsters, slings, everything to break down an AR. Uh,
man, me and my baby, we ready to go to war now.
yeah, I've got stuff everywhere. Uh,
Yeah, they
they
throw them
always make
government.
fun of me because they'll start talking about something. I was like, hold on, I'll be right back. Like, I forgot, like one night y'all were talking about, what was it? It was some kind of ammo. I had to go in the kitchen and open one of the drawers up to get some of the ammo they were talking to show everybody. They're like, you got it in your kitchen? I was like, yeah, why not?
There's a stash everywhere.
Yeah, you got to
Mhm.
see his toilet
That's good
pantries.
though.
Well,
Yeah, I was still remember I kind of was asking you about what recommendations. I'm still kind of I don't know, I get kind of nervous about it, but I'm
tell me,
thinking about maybe taking some classes first and trying
you
to
need to take
maybe
classes.
yeah.
And I'm going to be, I don't know if y'all joined the paid membership site over on my channel, but starting next week, like on the survivalist, where I'm teaching like stuff like that. It's simple stuff. To me, it's simple, but to
Mhm.
a lot of other people, it's like really like Chase. Within 5 minutes of meeting him, I showed him how to take a gun away from somebody that's pointing at him. But I have to remember to slow it down because the way I'm used to moving, I can actually hand you a weapon. You can point it at me with your finger on the trigger, and I can take it away from you and have it in my hand pointing back at you before you can realize what just happened. So
Yeah.
I have to remember to slow down. And I'm not
And,
even, I
like
wasn't even moving fast when I did it with Chase.
Yeah,
I'm
he
gonna
yeah,
just
teach,
kinda
hurt.
like in the
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
well,
He's like some John Wick. He'll just hurt and abuse you, and they'll be like, "That's how you do it."
The real John Wick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach Chase's wife some stuff. Then that way, whenever he's messing
No,
with
he's not.
her,
No, he's not.
Yeah. Wow. That's
But I'm
cool.
going to be putting some stuff up. Some of the stuff I'm going to be doing is handgun training. Uh, I don't know what kind.
Survival skills.
Well, not just survival skills. It's like how to actually use a weapon, hold a weapon properly. Most people grab a weapon, they don't actually know how to actually engage the weapon with your hand. I can show you how to fire a weapon without even looking down the sights, using your elbow off the side. If you're close enough to someone, you don't even have to use sights. You can use your elbow, you can use your finger. Easiest thing to do is take your finger, or your if you're right-handed, take your finger, put it out in front of you, and close one eye. Put it on something. No matter where you move your finger or whatever, that your finger's pointing at something. Well, when
Yeah.
you bring that gun up, your finger should be pointing down the side of that firearm. If you're most people don't realize if you just stop trying to make the gun go where you want it and let your hand put it where you want it. If you're, well, I don't want to get y'all in trouble, but
There we
We're
go.
not that big. You're good.
your
Quick
finger should be
clap.
down the side of that weapon like this. If you point that your finger, like if what you just do is like point it at Chase. If you're just pointing, that barrel is going to be within this much of him, wherever you're pointing, at
Mhm.
Ah.
10 yards away. Most people are worried about the sights. Point the weapon, find the front sight, and drop the front sight down. I don't even use the rear sight. But
Yeah. So you're
Wow.
thinking about getting one?
I was thinking about it because I don't have anything at home.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've used them before. My dad's, like I said, he was a hunter, and
Mhm.
but it's mostly like I would back then when I would go with him, I would prefer the rifles, but I feel like a handgun is probably better
go
for,
buy.
What state are you
quicker.
in?
She's in
California.
California.
California?
Yeah, she's in one of the evil states. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
what I would suggest, since where you live, what I would suggest you get is a revolver.
Yeah. I
There's
was thinking that.
there's less restrictions on revolver. You can go get a lot of people knock them, but Taurus makes one of the best. They're the cheapest, and they're a cheaper brand and one of the best brands to use. Uh, Chase carries
Yeah.
one around with him all the time.
Yeah, I got one right here. I
Yeah,
like it. So
like I said,
like
that's a
it's smaller.
357. It's a
Okay.
357, and what you do is you actually put 38 loads in it.
It's got I like the grip. It's really comfortable. It's really
That is
Okay.
comfortable in
that
your
gun
hand.
right there. Like I said, y'all state actually. I would tell you to actually go get a Glock 19. That's a Glock 21. Matter of fact, that gun right there came from Chase. I swapped him out on some stuff, and I've got guns everywhere.
Yeah,
But
that's Red
I would
Wolf. That's
suggest,
Red Wolf right there.
yeah, that's Red Wolf. I would suggest you get a 357 Magnum and
Okay.
shoot 38 loads in it. The reason why is because they have less recoil, but you can get 38 loads that have a like this. The end of this bullet is so big that I can actually no hold on. Find a pin. Yeah. I can actually take a pin and stick it up in the end of it.
Hmm.
So you can see this better. Hold on, find a flashlight. I got one right here. That's a pin in the
Oh,
end of a bullet. If that hits you, it makes a big damn hole and it dumps all the energy, and they stop doing what you didn't want them to do very quickly. Uh, the other thing is, I don't know hardly of any state that has any restrictions on revolvers. For some reason, they're kind of looked over.
mhm.
And I can send you a link to a guy. His name is Jerry McGovern. He actually shoots for Smith and Wesson. He can shoot a 6-shot revolver faster than most people can shoot a automatic modern firearm. And
It's unbelievable how fast he is.
he can fire 6 shots off, and it almost sounds like he only fired 1 shot. And all of them are aimed. The
Oh,
gun that Chase has got, you can actually get what's called moon clips, where you can actually fire, open it up, dump, stick another round, stick a hole there on a
the
little
whole
ring. You just
uh-huh.
you slide another one and go back. Uh, like I said, I would suggest you get a revolver. The other thing
Okay.
is, since you've got kids,
Yeah.
Academy Sports. I don't know if y'all have them out there, but go to Academy Sports and get what's called a biometric gun safe. What it is, it's a safe I don't have one in here. It's a safe that you can put in a drawer or whatever. And what you do is you link it to your palm. When
Mhm.
your hand hits your hand or your husband's hand hits it, it automatically opens. And when it opens, it pops up and the gun is presented to you. That way,
Okay.
kids or nobody else can get a hold of it.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I haven't gotten anything.
Well, get you one of
I just get
those.
so scared.
Hey, they work really, really good. Cobra makes, I think it's called Cobra Safes. They make one of the best on the market.
Okay.
They have a money back. They'll actually pay you $10,000 if you figure out a way to open their safe without your biometrics.
Wow. You
Matter of
know,
fact, if you lock it and you can't get into it, you have to send it back to the company so they can retrieve whatever you got inside of it.
wow. Yeah, because I remember Costco had a really nice but it's Costco. I was like, I don't know. It was like a little like a little box that you can put on the side of your dresser, and you would have to put your thumb in it, like your thumbprint, and then it would open. But I was like, man, what if
Something
it
like
breaks?
that's what you want. You don't want to be trying to figure through combinations. You want something that goes to your hand. They even make
Okay.
one that you can use that goes with your ring. Like you put a ring on your finger
Uh-huh.
or a bracelet, I think it is. It's called bio lock. Unless that right there comes in contact with that safe won't open.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
I
don't
Oh,
the,
go ahead, Chase.
I was just say they also got one too. I don't know if money is the option. It's
oh,
really a cheaper option, and it's like 3 digits, 3 or 4 digits, and it's a certain way you use your hand, you pull it, and it opens.
Yeah, I've
You know
seen
what that's
those.
called, Vault?
It's called the fast safe. It's where you can lay your 3 fingers on it and roll those 3 fingers back. And because your 3 fingers are at different lengths, it puts in 3 different number combinations at one time. Like it'll be like 1, 4, 2, because your fingers are different lengths. The problem with that is everybody's fingers are not the same length, and it is pretty fast to open, but it's still a combination. You have to physically look to make sure the combination goes in. I like the ones that are biometrics. Uh, Chaos in here. He can
yeah.
tell.
Yes.
Hi, Chaos.
Hello.
I'm
Hey,
sorry.
How
Hello,
you guys doing?
chaos.
Hi.
That's all right. No worries. No worries.
Chaos. He bought his first
Um,
gun, 2 years? Well, he bought the newest gun to him, and I was able to teach him and show him how to fire his weapon really proficiently to where how old was Bubby when you started letting him shoot?
oh God. Well, he'd been shooting before that. He'd been shooting his uncle's AR-15, but
Yeah, but I'm talking about your pistol.
this is like my pistol. I don't know what it was a couple of years ago, right? Something like
Yeah,
that.
I'm gonna say 2 years ago. What was he?
Yeah,
12,
that sounds like a
11,
safe number.
12, 11, I
Yeah,
think he
Bubby's
was.
13. Bubby's 13 now, so he probably would have been about 10 or 11, something like that.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Chaos said he thinks he shoots better than him. He can empty a magazine on a 9-inch pie plate and all the rounds going within what 20 yards.
Yeah, about 20 yards I can get. My best was like maybe 4-inch group, something like that, 4 or 5-inch group.
And
Wow.
Chase, that is with a PT 111 Taurus.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Sorry,
you know what, man?
we're all
I'll
gonna
tell
have
you,
to shoot off one day, buddy.
it was cheap. I mean, $250 for the gun, but I mean, in all honesty, in my personal opinion, it's accurate and it just feels good when you're firing. And I mean, I even if it was $400, it would be worth every penny. You know?
That's the one that you recommended to me, Bob, with the
Yeah,
torch
for your
line?
wife. Yeah, for your wife.
Do you
The G2.
chaos?
Yep.
You like that a lot? I mean, is it pretty comfortable?
I do. Yeah, it's a really good little carry gun. It's a compact. You know what I mean? And deadly up to 25 yards. Honestly. So.
Gotcha.
It's a little bit smaller than the Glock 19. Like
What
that's just comparative. Go ahead.
what is that one?
It's
The
called
is it the
it's
P?
called a Taurus PT 111.
Oh yeah, Taurus.
Yeah, a lot of people go by the G2
Yeah,
or the G2 Millennium. You know, it's basically the same gun. The Millennium, the G2 is just kind of one of them is a little bit of an upgraded version, but they're basically the same weapon.
they're
They have a bunch of the ones for California too.
yeah they have
Still, most of
California.
them are sold out.
They have California compliance models just for
Yeah.
California.
Yeah,
But like I
that's
said,
the one you want to get.
if you're worried about future proofing for California, I would still say a wheel gun. I would get a J framed. It's called a J framed Taurus. I think it's the Taurus 106 or
It's the
something
one
like that.
without the It's the one that don't have the hammer.
Yeah, it's the one that don't have the hammer.
Yeah, so it's like this one's got a hammer on it.
Yeah, it just don't
Mine
have a
doesn't know.
Yeah,
that's,
yeah. I loved it. This is a Taurus right here. So, and I love my. I
a lot
really
of
do. I
people
really
knock
like the Taurus.
Tauruses, but I carried a Taurus for a long time, and I've shot several people with them, so I don't have no problem.
Jesus Christ, bro!
Tested and vault approved.
Listen, Vault was on the phone with me, and I was having him give me some legal advice to my wife about something. He said those exact same lines, right? And then he gets to going into telling my wife a story. Next thing you know, my wife calls me later on that evening. She's like, "Chase, why'd you have me on the phone with a killer?" I'm like,
That's funny.
I'm over there making excuses. Oh, well, he's got a good heart.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah,
I've only lead injected people that were either trying to lead inject me first, or they had been doing nefarious things, and the government said that they were bad. So,
yeah, that's right.
how many people do we have in here right now? I can't see that.
I can't either.
It looks like 4.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
So we're good.
well, we got to get y'all we got to get y'all's numbers up.
yeah.
Oh, it's okay. I kind of, I was telling you before, I kind of sometimes get nervous to get a lot of people because I was like, I don't want weirdos in here.
Oh, they're going.
I don't want creepy people. But
Yeah, but
They're
you guys have a really great show, a nice little dynamic between the two of you. I watched the one show where the guy came on. He was talking about the Brujas
oh
and stuff
yeah,
like that. Dude, that was
Mhm.
a great show.
I know that was our longest show.
I
He was,
think, I
yeah,
think Mateo wanted to do a show with y'all on the Bruja because not very many people talk about the Bruja.
yeah, yeah, and I would love to have her, and so she can kind of give us some, more informative side of it. Yeah.
Well,
That's good because I don't even know what the hell that is. So
a Bruja is what they call it's basically what everybody would call a witch, or a
oh, okay, all right.
it's
Yeah.
it's not really Spanish. And see, that's the other thing that gets me is I thought Spanish was Spanish until I started working on the border. Then I realized there's like 5 different dialects of Spanish, and that
Mhm.
don't even count in anything the the Cuban and that side of stuff. That brings a whole different level. I'm like, really?
Mhm.
Y'all expect me to learn? Which Spanish am I supposed to be learning?
So you're talking like the kind of witch, like kind of like those videos that it kind of like from like southern Mexico, where you've got like the
Yeah,
one that's walking down the street or the one flying across the mountains, and it's like, oh, I'm glad they're over
yes.
there, dude. I don't want to. I don't want to deal with that
Yeah,
stuff.
those are the creepy, the ones that turn into owls.
Well, that's the trippy part was when he started talking about the owl stuff. Because my wife, she's her whole family, boy. I'll tell you what, every time she hears an owl outside the window, she's on the phone calling me. Chase, there's an owl outside. I swear to God, I'm about to shoot it. Like she gets all hopped up. So it's funny because her culture, um, she's like her whole family is always had like they've always been real like connected to the spiritual world and I guess a sense or sensitive to it, and they always talk about it. 'Cause my wife, she's like I guess you could say African American, but her whole family is just really like into. They're super. I guess the best way to use not skeptical, but superstitious about
Superstitious.
about everything, and especially when it comes to spiritual stuff. So the owl is like a real big deal to them. And to
Yeah.
be honest with you, I really don't know why. I think I'm gonna ask, but my
Well,
wife's super freaked out about owls.
you've got in certain Native Americans like the Apache. If you killed an Apache member, if you killed an Apache, according to them back then, according to them, if you killed an Apache member or what they call a red feather, a brave, and you don't at that night, an owl will come to you, and if you don't know the name to call out of the person that you took the life of that day, that owl will follow you around for the rest of your life, hooting.
Oh,
Their spirits were tied to the owls. That's where the red feather came from. It was the barn owls. They got like a rusty looking feather, their tail feathers and stuff. That's where they would get their feathers and stuff from. The wearing their headdresses and the ordain their tomahawks and everything else that they did. That was like the elite of the bunch. There's still
Yeah,
a red feather organization out there.
so
hmm.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah.
about the. Yeah, that's interesting.
hmm It's more up in the Four Corners area. A matter of fact, the basically the Four Corners nation, the Four Corners tribes are made up of several different nations that have came together. Well, under that, they had to actually they had to come up with a protection system. Their braves and stuff, like their law and stuff, because on Indian reservations you have the regular law. You don't have regular law. You have nation law, and they have their own tribe. They have their own. I mean, every tribe has their own court systems, everything else. Well, to keep everything from getting mucked up and this tribe getting more than this tribe and everything like that, they've got what's called the Warriors Brave system. And what it is that is their police system for all of everybody. Now they still have like the Dakotas and all them will have their own police system, but let's say basically it's the feds of the Four Corners Nations area. And
Question,
you
question. Can like let's say a white man or a foreigner comes on the land and does something? Can they go to jail there?
yes,
Like they
sir.
get tried?
Yes,
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
because you're not inside the United States no more. Actually, once you go onto a reservation, you're on their land. It's not part of the United States.
Yeah, 'cause they
Hmm.
take that stuff very serious, especially with like game wardens.
Mhm.
I bought several videos where the game wardens and the natives would be like going back and forth about basically who's about to take this guy. That's really interesting. And the natives
Oh,
always win.
oh yeah, especially if they call in one of the what they call the red feathers. If they call in one of those guys, the argument's over with. They don't
Oh.
ask, they tell. And the only reason why I can say that is because I'm actually a red feather for the Four
Uh,
Corners Nation.
and are a lot of the red feather guys, are they actually like trained like tactically and everything else?
Kind of, sort of. They will actually, the tribes for some of the other members that are not. Most of them are ex-military. A lot of them are ex-military. The ones that are not, the younger ones, because like my kids can be brought in as a red feather once they pass the trials. Well,
Hmm.
if they haven't been trained enough, they will actually pay to have them sent to training grounds like Rolling Thunder and stuff like that. Rolling Thunder is the biggest militarized training group in the world.
Wow.
Wow.
They have, the matter of fact, they train some of our specialty teams for the military because their training is better than the training programs that they had lined up. Uh, there's been a lot of our soldiers trained, a lot of police forces. You're talking about for a 4-day course, it costs like $3,500 for one person.
Wow.
But when you leave from there, your finger will be raw from pulling the trigger so much. And they will put you through some scenarios that you would blow your mind. You're like, really? Why the hell are we doing this?
Yeah, that sounds
Wow.
fun actually. Well,
Yeah.
Chaos, yeah, you ladies should become a member of the Red Feather Booger Buggers.
They are. Hey, they're members.
I think
just
they
get-
already are. I
Yeah.
think they
yeah.
already are.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
honestly.
Like
Oh, that's sweet.
Well, Lakea's done said they were members because Lakea likes them, and she, like I said, she wants more women in this industry. She wants
Yeah.
more women, not just storytellers, but doing what y'all do, doing what she does. Like I said, just getting around talking about stuff, getting around because, like I said, sometimes guys muck up the waters with envy, pride, and everything else. Women don't usually do that. Now, there ain't nothing worse than a woman scoring. I'll tell you that much now. So,
Yep. That's true.
Yep.
if she can ever get back in the country, I'm going to introduce y'all to a lady friend of mine. You know, y'all said something about John Wick earlier. No, I'm not. No, this is the female version of John Wick. This lady right here, that's my kid's godmother, one of my best friends. Her name was Natalia. If that lady was mad at me when she walked in the door, I'd shoot her. She ain't getting nowhere near me. I've seen this lady kill a guy with a credit card one night, literally.
What?
Epic story.
Yeah,
It's like something on a movie.
She's gay, and
You
a
said
guy.
that so slow.
Well, I don't know how else. I'm trying to be politically correct. She likes women, and she
Uh-huh.
doesn't have a problem telling you that. But this guy, now, she looks like a freaking supermodel. I'm talking about gorgeous lady. We were in a bar in Japan called the Toy Tiger, and me, Tank. Now, as bad as this woman is, Tank's always had a special spot for her. It's like his little sister. Tank is like 6'6", weighs 300 pounds, and he ain't fat. He looks like a white
Wow.
Incredible Hulk. Big dude. Well, anyway, if she gets up to leave, we never left all at one time. That was just something that's just part of our training. You always leave individually. That way you can't be ambushed. The whole team can't be. Well, she gets up to leave, and she's going up to pay her tab, and she's got her card out in her hand. Well, this guy, goofy guy, over there, I don't know if y'all seen or heard very much about the way they act over in Japan. Women are treated very badly over there.
Oh.
Well, this guy walks up, says something half-assed and broken English because they had heard us talking English, so he just assumed that's what she thought. He half-assed said something in some broken English and grabbed her ass. That was not, because Tank goes, oh shit. And I go, what? By the time I turn around, I literally see her smile and do this across the guy and walks. Pays for her tab before the guy's just standing there. And me and Tank are like, we got to go. We got to go. The guy still hasn't hit the ground yet. He's just grabbing a stove. Nobody really knows what's going on. She pays, walks out the door, and all of a sudden the guy just hits the ground. Blood goes everywhere. Yeah.
Wow.
I watched that happen. So
That's
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah, that sounds just like a movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've seen that lady with an AK-47 doing training. It's like, really? She her dad was a Spetsnaz drill instructor. That is the Russian Special Forces. Her mom was and is part of the Mossad. That is the baddest organization, spy wise, whatever you want to say, on the planet. Uh, the Mossad is basically family oriented. If you to be part of the Mossad, you're either going to marry into the family or be part of that family. But it's the government's version of the mafia.
Oh.
But they're basically trained deadly assassins in just about anything you can think of. That's Natalia. And that's her mom. Like her mom was Mossad, her dad was Spetsnaz. I've seen her take an AK-47, run across the field shooting at targets during training, run up over the vehicle, do a flip, and never stop firing. They're like, "Not your turn. I'm not doing all that shit."
Wow.
Like, really? No. I've seen her take this is from her dad. The Mossad, the Spetsnaz were known for this. I don't know if y'all know what a spade is. It's the military version of a shovel. They give you a shovel that's about that long that folds up. She can take that thing, and at 40 yards, she can stick it in your chest.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's John Wick, the female version.
Yeah, that's to have those skills. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's my kid's godmother. That's one of Lakea's best friends.
Wow.
Right now, she's stuck in Israel, and they won't let her back in the country. They consider her a danger to the United States when
Oh.
she used to work for the United States. That's the stupid thing. You want to piss somebody off like that and call them that. Don't give them any ideas. But this has been fun. I'm sorry we took over your show and went. I hope we didn't take
it's
a different
cool.
direction than what y'all wanted.
No, we were hoping somebody would join
I
because
told
we were like,
y'all,
let's just have a chill day today.
look, anytime y'all want to do a show and y'all need a guest or whatever, all you got to do is call Chaos, me, Chase, Sean. I'm trying to remember your names. Leave me alone, you damn little leprechaun. Sean, Bash, Truth,
Yeah.
or Lakea. If y'all need a guest or want somebody to come on, all you gotta do is make a phone call. You got my
Awesome.
number, so
Yeah. Yeah, did you end up finding your phone?
no, I got another one. I got another one.
Oh,
I got
okay.
a better one. I got one now that chases even be a.
Yeah, I like that. I like it. He got a note. I like the notes.
Oh, the new note.
No, I got a Note
Yeah.
9. I got a Note
Yeah.
9. I don't like the newest greatest.
Yeah.
Everybody told me the Note 9 was better than the new ones. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm
Yeah,
impressed.
it
That
is.
little pen
Yeah.
is a bad little dude.
Yeah, I
Uh,
still have my
the
old.
Note 9's awesome.
You got a Note?
No, I have a Galaxy.
Yeah,
The
that's what I
Galaxy
did.
9.
That's
I
what I
had
did.
a
I switched to the Galaxy too.
I had the Galaxy 50 AES or whatever it was. That's the one that I beat with a hammer that night. And
Oh.
then my backup phone was the Galaxy 20 FS or whatever it was. That's the one. I have no idea where to went. The last time I seen it was laying on this disc. I don't know what happened to it.
Wow.
I sent one of my
I hope it's
leprechaun
not
buddies
a
over there.
duende. You don't have a duende running around your house. They
No,
do things like that.
no, I
my
got other things
leprechaun
that run
brother.
around this house. I think my kid's cat got in here, knocked it off because my trash can was right here. I think it got
Oh.
knocked off in there, and that same morning was trash day.
Yeah.
And one of my youngest boy's job is he goes around trash day, and who texting me? Hold on.
Wow. Probably
Probably,
got thrown away.
it's probably everybody over there waiting for him to come on his channel.
Probably.
I
Yep.
know.
It'd be all right. I've been telling the girls I would come on here with them, and I remember her saying last night they were going to do a show, and when I seen it pop up on my phone, I was like, "Yep, I'm going over there first."
Aw, that's
Mhm.
cool. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Hey, no, look, anytime, look, that's the thing about this family. If you're doing something, everybody will get behind y'all. It's not about one individual or nothing like that. And look, the way I was taught growing up, one individual twig is very easy to break. A bundle is a lot damn harder to break.
Yeah.
So, I that's the way I look at things. I don't have friends, I have family members. Like Chaos. Chaos has known me long. The only person that's known me longer uh, on what I call the YouTube side of things or whatever is DW and then Chaos. And me and Chaos, even when I went what they call dark off, when I left and went off YouTube for a while,
Yeah.
still was in contact with Chaos probably 3 times a day, every day.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
talked to Chase about every day or every other day.
I
Uh,
can't get rid of him
yeah, I'm
Oh
like a
yeah, there
bad.
was at least 1 2 hour conversation every day, minimum.
every day.
That's cool. Yeah,
What?
because I remember your channel before you stopped. And then I remember I started watching it and then all of a sudden it just
Never will.
stopped. Yeah. And
You
then
never will.
then you came back. So I was like, oh cool, like I never really got to get into it because, right when I was starting to, like it went away.
Well, y'all
But
have
I'm
y'all
glad you're back.
have you have Chaos and DW to thank for that. I got tired of all the drama bull crap because it was just like really,
Yeah.
and it got to the point where it was like it, drama and me don't work real good together because sometimes I will forget that it's not that serious and that we call it the K and all them chaos and all that, call it the vault switch that gets switched, and now it's not. Life gets really, really fast. Really, it can go bad, really, really bad, because I'll forget that it's not that big of a deal and it's not that big of a danger, and especially if you come after my friends or my family, it can get
Yeah.
really. I'll show you how real life can get real quick. That's just the way I am, though. I don't have look. Most of my friends and family are gone, so I protect the ones that I have.
Yeah. I
I
know. I
don't.
remember too. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I sure am glad to have Ball as a friend. He's
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Bolt's awesome. He's
yeah, he is.
I was gonna say I remember Dark Waters would always be like, I'm gonna get Bolt back. I'm gonna get him back. I'm gonna get him to come back. And so, it's good that he did because, especially for me during my quarantine, during the time that I didn't have nothing to do, I was very thankful that you guys would go on and have live shows and I was able to interact with people, because you can't really go anywhere. So you guys helped me a lot. So I appreciate that.
See, y'all don't even know some of the stupid stuff I did during quarantine. Chaos does. Chase don't. Oh, I forgot.
I
Chase,
don't even know.
no, Chase don't know. Chase, you know I have a tank, don't you?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot. I didn't know
Uh,
if you.
yeah, no, I've seen that.
Yeah, I have a tank.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Chaos was on the
Yep.
phone with me. I was driving down the road and I seen one for literally I seen one for sale and I'm like, Chaos was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to buy a tank." He's like, "What?" "I'm going to buy a tank."
I'm like a tank, like tank, boom boom tank,
Like explosive
like
tank?
that kind of
Oh yeah,
tank.
oh yeah. And I went, didn't give that much for it, and he was on the phone with me when I bought it, and then he's like, "What are you going to do now?" I said, "I'm going to get the truck and go get it."
Ooh,
I
Man,
Wow.
I
drove,
seen
drove
he's Vault
yeah.
sent me a picture of that tank. Man, I ain't never seen Vault smiling so big.
and it's fully
Wow.
operational.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be, but it is now.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So yeah, I've got all kind of stupid stuff I just don't know about. Chaos keeps wanting me to, not Chaos, but Chase keeps wanting me to carry him riding in the. I have what's called the Nightmare Machine. It is a I bought a Dodge Charger RT model and turned it into a demon cat.
Hmm,
Uh,
Mm.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
I
You
want to
should give
go.
him a ride.
Oh, he will. He ain't got a choice.
I, it's stored right now because of the weather. And I hadn't drove that thing but about 6 times. It's
Wow.
got literally racing seatbelt seats and everything else in it. It's the only way I could get insurance on it.
Wow. That's cool.
There's
So you
about
should post
two.
some pictures up.
I've got some. They're actually on. If you go over to Big J's Facebook, you go over to the link, the my link and everything over there. I think Lakea's got some pictures up on Big J's of it. It's all blacked out. Everything on it is solid blacked out. Windows, tires, rim, everything's blacked out on it.
Oh,
I've got all kind of stupid stuff like that. I'm still working on it. I built one that they won't let me put on the road. That I can't get
huh.
a tag for it. It weighs too much. It's an assault vehicle.
Wow. So it sounds like you have a lot of fun.
I'm always doing something stupid. See, y'all don't even know. I have a gun shop. I do
Oh, you.
custom gun. I do custom guns for police officers. I don't do nothing for the public anymore. I
Hmm.
started doing it, and then every time you do something for somebody, they want you to do something. First thing they ask you to do is something illegal. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Uh, but I do a lot of work for police, the sheriff's departments, police officers, contractors. I do a lot of work for contractors. But we're talking about ARs that cost like the base model's $3,000
Wow.
and go up.
Wow. That's cool.
Y'all do know I'm a sheriff's deputy, right?
Oh, you are? No, we didn't know that.
Here comes the badge. I
His
got the
shirt is
beard.
cool
He's
too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Is that from your
Rustling
merch?
around in the drawer. Yeah.
Oh, nice
I
and
got the
shiny.
beard. I got the beard. He's got the badge. The beard and the badge.
I got a bunch of them too.
Handcuffs.
Yeah. Look, I got all kind of stupid shit.
He's he's also got some
I'm
pink
actually supposed to be
handcuffs.
retired,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't do it as much no more because Lakea got onto their butts. But it wasn't nothing. I'd be fixing to do something on Chaos, or I'd be in the middle of the show with Chaos, and next thing you know, you hear Chaos like, "What's that?" I said, "Hold on a minute." And I'd have to turn my mic off and everything. It'd be the sheriff or one of the deputies there coming to get me to go help serve high risk warrants or whatever.
Wow.
That's mainly what the only reason why I stayed on was because of that. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I tell y'all what, I've got to get a show going over on my
Yeah.
channel before everybody goes ballistic. Cause
Yeah. Everybody's waiting. So, but we
well,
appreciate it.
They're all
ain't no
like
problem. I've got
Jones and
something to
yep.
reveal. I got something to show. And no,
Awesome.
it's not what you think.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and tune in over there too and see what you got up your sleeve.
Nothing. See. Well, thank y'all for letting me be on here, and I'll
Thank
see
you
y'all in a
guys.
little bit.
Thank
See, ya-
you.
see y'all hopefully over there.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
Chaos, jump in the chat. Y'all are more. Everybody here is more than welcome to jump in the chat. I'm gonna put a link in the chat. It's the easiest way I can do it. I'll see y'all later. And as always,
All
awesome.
right.
Rock and roll.
sweet nightmares.
You got to do the laugh, bro.
Yeah, he should have done the laugh.
Oh, he just cut
Wow.
right out without the laugh. I
Without
feel
the
like
laugh.
I feel like I just got swindled here. You
You're
know,
like, what
Me too.
happened?
Yeah,
like
I'm
I'm
gonna
waiting
rub in his
for it.
face. I'm gonna tell him later and be like, "So I see the girls aren't important enough for you to do the laugh, huh? Huh?
He probably didn't want to scare us.
Yeah, maybe." Dude, I swear, he was talking to me. He's like, "Yeah, the girls, man." Da, da, da. He's talking about y'all. He's like, "I swear, they're like they're young, ain't they?" I'm like, "Dude, I think they're like well in their 20s." He's just like, he thought y'all were like teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah, he told us. I was like, "No, I
That's funny.
wish. I wish
I
I was
just got a
still a teen."
I just I just got a message from Reg. Like, is Vault okay? Everybody's worried. He's not showing up on his show.
Dude, he left
Aw,
everybody
Like,
hanging.
oh my goodness.
That was funny,
well,
man.
I know, right?
he's so cool. He's, like, really he's got stories, man. Like, I was talking to him on the phone, and he was telling me all this stuff, and I was like, my mind was blown. Like, that's crazy. Yeah.
Dude's got stories for days.
Yes.
And
Cool
it's weird
story.
how much it's what's weird is like I'll be talking to him about certain stuff that I find odd, and he'll neither know the person, been there, guess where the heck you were at. Like that dude's been everywhere.
Yeah, it sounds like he has, but it's cool, like, he should share more about that. I mean, I know that he said that he can't some stuff, but, like, where
Yeah,
he's been.
get him on the show again. He'll share with you. That man loves to
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah, so do you just drive are you a trucker?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So you're always driving, or is it like
Pretty much. Like I
yeah.
usually I drive over the road, so I'll come home sometimes for like a weekend, but
Mhm.
for the most part I stay on the road.
Wow. That's that's tough not to be able to see your boo.
Yeah, my kids and everything
Yeah,
else.
your
Definitely,
children.
yeah, it's definitely a big sacrifice, but at least like my wife, she ain't got to work unless she wants to, and make sure I
Yeah.
take care of everything. It's good stuff.
Well, I mean,
Just
it's we appreciate that though. I know that, trucking is very important, so
yeah, I didn't even
yeah.
know it. My buddy told me, but apparently it's like top 10 most dangerous jobs. I'm like, what? I didn't know
Wow.
that. But yeah, I mean, you see wrecks all the time.
Yeah.
Like just a while ago, I saw a car in the opposite lane flipped upside down. Just happened. I literally missed it by probably like 30 seconds. It's wild.
Wow. I know I always get so nervous when I'm driving on the freeway and there's, like, big rigs. I'm like, I get anxiety. So I'm like, "Oh, I don't wanna hit it. I don't wanna get close to it," but, like,
Yeah.
it's an important thing, and it's also, like, they're always on the road, so yeah.
Yeah, it can be intimidating. I know I rode with my wife's mom a couple times on the interstate, and dude, I'll never like ride passenger with her. Like she'll get next to a big truck. God forbid if two trucks are on each side of her or she's in between two trucks. Oh man, she starts praying, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Like,
I just scream. I'm like, "Ah," until, like, I'm out.
yeah, yeah. I used to be big in. Now that I'm a trucker, I feel real stupid about all the stuff I used to do. But I used to ride motorcycles, like the crotch rockets, and
Mhm.
I used to do a lot of, I guess, what people call stunting. So I used to do all the wheelies and all that crazy
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, we used to ride in packs and stuff. And we used to do dumb stuff like we used to do like do wheelies next to semis, and then like you'll be in a wheelie, and you'll just like put your hand out on against the semi and hold the semi while you're doing a wheelie like next to it, or just like just freak out people like on the interstate. You'll be
Yeah.
riding, and you'll just lean against the semi like the trailer.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
then yeah, it was pretty stupid.
that's pretty dangerous. Did you ever get hurt?
Oh,
No? Did you
well, yeah, no, yes. I got when you do that, when you ride bikes, it's not if you're gonna go down, you just win. Like you're definitely gonna go down, especially if you're doing all the wheelies and all the silly stuff. You're definitely gonna take some spills. Matter of fact, I was well, I've torn my rotator cuff. Like I literally had my rotator cuff bone sticking out of my shoulder. Like I like
Oh,
full
wow.
blown could look down and see my bone. But one time, so me and my wife was about to go on our honeymoon. We had just got married, and we was gonna go on our honeymoon, and my wife, you know how I'm pretty sure you ladies know you got to do your makeup and all that. Well,
Mhm.
look, I don't got time for that. I was already like basically ready, and I'm like, let's go. Like I already know my wife. Like, oh, I'll be done in an hour. Nah, that's like 2.5 hours. So I'm like, man, whatever. I'm gonna go jump on the bike and ride. Because we were gonna be gone for a week or so. So I wanted to ride like one last time before we left, and it had just kind of like was a light rain, and I had a Honda CBR 600 double R.
Mhm.
So I had rode where I lived at the time. There's a big Amazon building, and that how long those Amazon buildings can be, and it's just a big, long, perfect straight, perfect road, just perfect for practice. And that's usually where I always practice my wheelies and stuff, just to have a little fun. And I went down, did a big wheelie, rode it all the way down, and then I came back around, and I come up in first gear, and I clicked in second, so I'm clicking through the gears while I'm in a wheelie, and I was just having too much fun. So, because normally, I would go ahead and put it down, because I could ride a wheelie for miles if I want to. But so normally I'd put it down, but I was just didn't really getting into it, and I guess I was just feeling good. Really wasn't thinking about it, so I just was climbing speed. I was already at about 90 miles an hour, uh, and so I knew I was like, okay, I got to put this bike down. So as soon as I lean up, usually when you go to put a bike down, what you want to do is you don't want to slam down, so you gotta like let off the throttle. When you start to come down, you can tap the throttle a little bit. So once you get to that point where the tire's about to touch, it'll touch softer. When you put more fuel, like gas to it, it'll touch softer than it just boom, or so basically if you hit too hard, you could definitely like wreck like easily. So
Wow.
when I went to put throttle, so there's a part you can buy for them. And it's called a stabilizer, and it goes on your steering wheel. So that way, if you lay it down and your front wheel goes into a wobble, because so on a bike, like if you lay it down too soft or too light, your bike will just wobble. The front tire slap, and it's called a tank slap. And
Mhm.
I didn't buy that part for the bike. Everybody told me to, and I was like, nah, I'm good, because I figured I was too good for it. Thought I, overconfident.
Mhm.
So I go to lay it down at like 90 miles an hour, and I got a tank slap instantly. Now normally when you get a tank slap, I mean it's violent. Like your steering wheel on your motorcycle, is wow, 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 wow. It's very violent. And when it happens, sometimes if you could throttle back out. So say if I come down and my tank starts, my steering wheel is just smacking back and forth, I can
Mhm.
hit the throttle and pick the front tire up and get it to stop doing it, and then try to
Oh.
come back down. But when it hit the tank slap, it happened so fast that, because you got to think your front tire is bouncing back and forth like this very
Mhm.
fast, and all you have is your back tire keeping you straight. So it instantly threw me to the right hand side of the road. Now it had just rained, so as soon as it was just instant boom. I'm on the right hand side of the road. I'm still doing like 80 something miles an hour. And as soon as I hit the grass, now it's been raining, so the grass is wet. But when I hit the grass, the steering wheel straightened up. It didn't have the tank slap, but now I'm on a crotch rocket in the grass, and that's like you can't control that hardly. But I was
Wow.
fortunate enough to able to start slowing down and was able to kind of control it. But I was sliding back and forth. My rear end's just sliding like this,
Mhm.
and finally I thought I was gonna be able to actually get it under control. But right about that time, my rear end starts coming around, coming around, coming around, and I knew I just couldn't keep it from happening. So I went to lay it down, and when I laid it down, I had my exhaust that I had on there was what you call a shorty. So instead of having them, you see them bikes run down the interstate, you got their big long pipes, the big
Mhm.
pipes that hang off the bike. Well, mine had a
Mhm.
little short one. So when it laid down, that pipe stuck in the dirt and it catapulted me. So I just
Oh.
flew, like I probably flew, I don't know, 10 feet in the air, just flying. But I landed on my back in the water because it was a ditch full of water. So I just hit that water and was so I came to us like I didn't even feel it. Like I didn't like it was fast, but I didn't get hurt. So I was actually able to jump up, run there, to get my bike, and I tried to crank it, but I tore the whole front end off my bike, all the plastic, the lights,
Mhm.
everything. And luckily, a truck had come. And it was like, "Hey man, you all right?" I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Hey, can you take me to my house? I live right here. Let's throw the bike in because I wanted to get going. I didn't want the police showing up or anything like that, or somebody calling. Hey, we had a wreck.
Mhm.
So, so, so the guys helped me load it up. I pull in. I lived in an apartment complex at the time, so I pull into the apartment complex. We unload my bike. I push my bike and I go get my cover, put it over my bike, and then I walked in the house because I'm not about to tell my wife what I just did. I'm about to go on a honeymoon, So
Yeah.
I was like, let me not say anything. And my wife come out and I don't know, like, well, I was covered in water and mud, so that was like, I don't know, I don't think she saw that, but for some reason she was like asked about my bike. So I'm like, oh no, it's, everything's good. And she's like, she kept looking at the cover. So she walks over and looks under it, and she was like, "What happened?" Ah, da, 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 da. And I'm like, "Oh, it ain't no big deal." Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, somebody ran me off the road, and I had to slide sideways." Like I'm making up some crazy excuse so that way she don't get mad at me, because I didn't want to, ruin the honeymoon. But I calmed her down. Everything was good, and we went on a honeymoon. But I was so sore, but I just pretended I wasn't. But like, dude, I felt like I got hit by a train.
Wow.
But yeah, so yeah, we're
Wow.
stupid.
Well, at least it wasn't bad, because there's usually don't they say that like um usually like motorcycle accidents are like very bad, like if you whoever,
Yeah.
it could be definitely obviously worse than a car. Um
Yeah.
but yeah, luckily nothing like that happened. Wow.
Yeah. They can be horrible. I mean, I've had a lot of friends die. Um, so probably I don't know. I wouldn't say that's the main reason why I got out of riding, but it has part of it.
Yeah.
But I've been blessed. Like I really believe that like the Most High is definitely like got angels over me. So
Mhm.
like matter matter of fact, I'll tell you a real quick story, but so I had a miracle happen, like a real like there's no other way to explain it, and it was really weird. So this all revolves around me doing stupid stuff again.
Mm.
So this is my first bike, and it was what they call a Aprilia RSV 1000 Tuno. So basically, it's like a race bike, but it
Mhm.
it don't have all the panels and stuff. It's what we call it naked, like a naked Street Fighter bike, but it's super torquey, super powerful. So being as my first bike, I'm still kind of learning a lot of stuff, but I'd already like mastered, doing wheelies and stuff. And I hadn't rode my bike in a while, and my buddy kept begging me to like, yo, come up here with me to go get some wings, man. I'll order some wings. Let's go to the bar. Let's go get them. So I really didn't want to, but something told me not to, but I did anyways. And I kid you not, man, I had flip flops on, no helmet, and a cut off t shirt. I lived in Jacksonville, Florida, so that's how we roll.
Mhm.
But so I rode up in shorts on. So it's not how you want to ride. But the bar was not far away. But you have to pass over this big bridge to get there. So it's just like a long straightaway that we all hit. So I go to the bar. I was real young at this time too, so I was like 24, so I was still stupid. But I drink like a mixed drink. I think I had two mixed drinks. So I was just kind of feeling buzzed or whatever. And we left after his wings were ready. We left. And when I left, you get to the end of that road and you make a right, and it's just this main stretch. It goes over the big bridge. It's around Mayport. Mayport is where the big Navy base is down there. There's two big Navy bases, but it's like going to the Navy base. And I take off. As soon as I made that right, nobody's in front of me, and it's like a small hill, and then it goes down to like this valley. Uh, that's probably like a quarter mile long, the little valley, and then it goes up one of the biggest bridges in Jacksonville. It's a giant bridge.
Mhm.
So normally, like a lot of guys on bikes, when they hit this straightaway, we all hit about 180, 160. We're usually doing like wide open, because it's a perfect spot to just open your bike up, and you could easily
Mhm.
hit 180 there.
Wow.
So it's a pretty popular spot. But me, I take off. So first, second, third. By the time I hit third gear, I'm already at 120 miles an hour, and my bike, it was pretty torquey. So all I had to do was pop on the throttle, and I came straight up. So I'm literally riding a wheelie at 120 miles an hour, no helmet on, standing on the back pegs of the bike. So where the passenger normally puts their feet, that's where I
Mhm.
had my feet, on the back of these pegs. And I'm riding this bike like it was just perfect. I remember, I'll never forget, like when I came up, it was like 12 o'clock, perfect balance, just felt amazing. Like I was like smiling. And all of a sudden, I'm going down that first little hill, and there's a dip in the road, and I'm on one wheel, and I hit that dip. And when I did, my bike went like this. So this is a high speed wobble, like I was telling you about the tank slap,
Mhm.
except this is on the back wheel on one wheel, and my bike went like just, and I remember when it happened, time stopped instantly. And like so when it happened, I knew I was dead. Like it was just like I said, you have time to think about everything. And I was like 100% sure I was about to die. Um, to the point where like I had already made up in my mind, like I don't know how to explain it, but there's so much time that stops when
Mhm.
this happens. It seemed like it lasts forever, the time. So, but when it happened, everything in my mind, I knew I was dead. So I was like, well, I guess this is it. And I remember like going to give up, like just like I like no fight in me, but this weird sensation. Like I felt something come like into me. Like I felt this energy or something come in me, and this rage like came over me out of nowhere. And I remember like saying no, like no, 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 and I'm like I started fighting it, and I was playing with the throttle, so the more I twist on the throttle, the faster the wobble would get. And the less I let off the throttle, the wider the wobble would get. So I
Mhm.
realized, okay, well, now I can kind of, somewhat try to control it. But at the same time, my shins are getting slapped. And it feels like sledgehammer beating in between my shins.
Yeah.
Like I remember that part. And I'm riding this whole valley. So I'm playing with this truck. I'm trying to get it under control. And by the time I get towards the bridge, I'm starting to go up the bridge, and I'm still fighting it. My buddy, he's still behind me. He's watching all this happen. And
Oh.
um, so I start, basically what happens is I start veering towards the edge of the bridge. And this bridge is real high. Like I'm definitely, if I go over this bridge, like it's a wrap. So I'm definitely like going over while I'm fighting it. So I think I had slowed down to about maybe 80, somewhere around 80 miles an hour by then, maybe 70. But I had some speed. Well, I know I'm about to go over the bridge. Like I know now I'm about to hit this bridge, and I black out. Like I don't remember nothing. I don't remember anything. And it's weird because I remember everything up to that point very well detailed, but I don't remember what happened when I got at the edge of that bridge. And I came to, like instantly came to. When I came to, I was doing 60 miles an hour on two wheels, and I had my hand on my hip, like, and my other hand on the throttle. And I remember being really confused, like I like what happened? Like I could not
Mhm.
figure out in my mind what had happened. So I pull into the apartment complex. My friend, he pulls up. His whole face is white as a ghost, and he's Spanish, and he was whiter than me. Like he was scared. So he was like, "Dude, you're effing crazy!" Like da 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 da. I'm like, so I'm just kind of blanked. And I'm like, "Dude, what happened?" Like, and he was like, "I don't know. You're just crazy." And I'm like, "No, no. What happened when I got at that bridge? Because it was bothering me. I couldn't figure out what happened." And he was like, "Dude, I don't know, and I don't know how to explain this. All I know is you were about to go over the bridge." He said, "I saw a spark." I'm like, "What you mean a spark?" He's like, "I just saw a flash and a spark of light." And he's like, "I don't just you were just instantly on two wheels." Like he saw a flash of light, and
Wow.
I was on two wheels. Um, so like after that, like I knew,
You kinda knew.
yeah, I knew I had a purpose. Like I knew God had a
Yeah.
purpose for me.
That's so
So
cool.
yeah,
Wow.
it was
And I
crazy.
believe that. I believe that there's definitely, like, miracles, guardian angels. I mean, I don't know, time slips maybe, but yeah, definitely, man. That's so cool. Like, the
Yeah, it
fact
was
that
wild.
nothing happened. And then, like,
Yeah,
and the way he explained it, it was like, "Oh, well, that kinda makes sense," that for some reason you can't remember, but he saw a flash of light, so it all happened at the same time, like, that's so interesting.
Yeah, like when he first said that he saw the flashlight, like he was like, "Yeah, I don't, dude, it was just a flashlight." But then I could see it in his mind. He's trying to
Makes sense.
rationalize it, and
Yeah.
he was like, "Dude, I don't know if your exhaust hit the edge of the bridge. Like, I just saw a light spark and just like, so I knew like he couldn't explain it. He didn't know what the heck happened. He like so, like after that, so I had dated this. It was shortly after that. I had dated this Puerto Rican lady, and she had her daughters were like 16 at the time,
Mhm.
and one of her daughters had like a gift, like where she could see like it like basically if you had a dark entity with you, she could
Mhm.
see it. If you had like protectors or like guardian angels, she could see them. And she had told me I had like 7 of them, and they were bright. So she was indicating that they were like, like strong, like really strong, stronger than most. And it was weird because, um, like her daughter don't talk about this stuff. She never talked to me about it. And it
Yeah.
was only that her mom brought that to my attention, and I believed it, like what she was telling me because of
Yeah.
what happened, and
Wow.
that's not even the only time. I've had a few other times like he saved my life. So yeah.
That's so cool. I'm gonna have to get you back in here and do a little interview with you so you can talk about those stories.
Yeah, yeah, I
It
got a
would be
few of
cool.
them. Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
few of them. But definitely, we can do it anytime for sure. You just
Awesome.
let me know.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate your stories. Yeah, it sounds interesting, and yeah, like I said, hopefully you can come back and we can have you on as a guest, as a featured guest.
All right, no problem, man. I just enjoy, I just enjoy talking like y'all. So the whole reason y'all started, I just enjoy sharing and talking. And I'm pretty sure you girls got a pile of good stories too.
Wow. Like, that's interesting because Bolt asks me like, "Oh, well, what's happened?" And I was like, "You know what? I've never, like, really had anything crazy happen, but, once you start thinking about it, then you remember little things and you're like, "Oh, yeah, that happened and this." So, but nothing, like, over the top. Mainly, I feel like my older sister, because it's 3 of us,
Mm.
she's the experiencer for sure. She's the one that kind of has had, experiences and seen things, so, yeah. I'm kinda glad it's not me.
Dude, I know the feeling, man. Like
Yeah.
my wife tells me all this crazy stuff, and I'm like, dude, I've never experienced anything like that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I've experienced weird stuff, like uh, some demon type stuff, but I've never experienced just kind of ghost or anything like that.
Yeah. I know it's kinda scary. I'm a scaredy cat. I like to hear, like, that's what my husband always tells me, like, "Why do you like to hear stuff and talk about stuff, but you don't like to go watch scary movies or, like," I'm like, "No, I don't like to call it upon me." Like, I'm just, I'll hear your story and kinda think about it, but nah, I'm not
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
like
ready
that.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like scary movies. I don't watch them at all. But I'm not like I'm stupid because I'm fear like I never had fear like growing up, but I'm just it's not a good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well,
All
we
right.
appreciate it. Well, hopefully, I'm gonna go see if Vault's on and we can jump
Mhm.
in the chat there.
All right.
But
Let's go give him a hard time.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you for being here with
Absolutely.
us.
Yeah, no
All
doubt.
right.
Hit me up.
Okay. I'll send you a
All right.
message so we can come up
Yeah.
with a date if
All
possible.
right.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank
Sounds good.
you.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye. All right. Well, I don't know where my co-host went. There she is. I
Yeah,
can
I'm
hear
here.
you. Yeah. Pretty interesting stories, huh?
Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, we're gonna get him back on because he's got some stories." So, well, but we appreciate everybody being here, and hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and hopefully next time Eileen will be here with me, so we can just have each other like always.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to say anything before we close it down?
Thank you for all the participants and their stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Very interesting. I felt like it, had a lot of topics, so that was good,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, a little dive into everything. So that's good.
Yeah. Uh so we had Volt. He has his channel, Volt of Nightmares, if anybody's interested in going over there. He has a lot of really cool content and shares a lot of cool stuff. And then there's Chaos Theory Productions. He has a really cool channel as well. If anybody's interested in his channel. And then I think Redwolf, I think he's under Chase Thompson, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so if you guys would want to follow them, go check them out. And we appreciate everybody being here. And till next time,
Bye,
bye.
everyone.